everybody, it's Mike again, Executive Chef at Babylon Mercantile. I am so excited to bring this new kit to you by Central Market by BRG and the Boston Restaurant Group. Let's see what this first one is. First one is, this is the puff pastry. What you really should do as soon as you get your kit is take this out of your kit and bring it right to your fridge and make sure it stays cold until we're ready to use it. We got here chocolate mousse crunch bar, so I'm assuming that's for dessert. And this kit happens to be for 4 people, so it's great. It's a great dinner for everybody. We have our par-cooked fingerling potatoes. That's gonna be for one of our sides. What do we have here? Oh, we have a homemade bordelaise sauce. We have a homemade mushroom duxelle, one of the key ingredients in a beef Wellington. We have our homemade brie fondue. The sausage you get with this kit is amazing to go with the flavor profile. We have the egg washed. Obviously, we're gonna use that for the top of our puff pastry. Fresh whipped cream, always good to have that for dessert. You have your 4 USDA prime filet mignons. We have roasted Brussels sprouts, one of my all-time favorites. This is a great kit, great classic steakhouse food here, unbelievable. And then the all-time important thing to make sure that we cook our steaks the right way is our good old thermometer, make sure we cook it the way we want it. And then that's really what we have for our kit. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get into our recipe and show you a little bit about how we put this meal together for you. So the first thing we need to do is get our oven preheated to 400 degrees. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our filet mignons. I love the way they wrap these things. They're nice in butcher wrap paper, in a nice cryovac container, and these are beautiful cut filet mignons. We get 4 of them here, and these are beautiful prime, nice marble fillets. And then what we wanna do is we wanna go and get our pan, and get our pan nice and hot before we start searing these things. So I get our good old cast iron. So next thing we're gonna do is we wanna generously season these fillets with some salt and pepper. So once the pan is hot, we're gonna put about 3 tablespoons of the canola oil into the pan. So we're gonna let that sit, we're gonna let that oil get nice and hot, and then we're gonna sear our fillets. All we're gonna do is we're gonna take each one of these fillets, we're gonna place them into the pan. But one thing we wanna do is we wanna make sure that we put the fillets away from us when we put them in the pan, so we don't get any of that oil that splashes back at us, and you're gonna get burnt, and we don't want that to happen. We're gonna do each side about 3 minutes. So we're gonna wait a little bit, then we're gonna flip it over and let that other side go for another 3 minutes. Let's see if we have some good caramelization on each side of these fillets. We have a beautiful color on that side, so all we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this over, and we're gonna let the other side get nice and caramelized as well. We're gonna take a nice clean plate, and we're gonna take these fillets and put them on our plate. And we're gonna set these off to the side and let them rest and chill a little bit. I separated each one of the puff pastry sheets and I put them on a clean work surface. And all I did is I removed each one of the papers between each one. And I kept the paper on the bottom so it doesn't stick to the bottom of our cutting board. So I'm gonna take a little bit of our duxelle, about a tablespoon of each, and put it into the center of each one of the puff pastry sheets. About a tablespoon, maybe a little bit less. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take each one of our rested fillets. All you're gonna do is put each one onto the duxelle that's on the bottom of the sheets. A tablespoon of our duxelle. We're gonna add it to the top of the fillet. And then what we're gonna do from here is we're gonna spread out the duxelle on the top of the fillets. And then we're slowly going to wrap the fillets very, very gently with the puff pastry sheets, because what we don't wanna do is we don't wanna rip the puff pastry sheets. You wanna make it like a little pouch. And then that should be how your puff pastry should look after you wrap it. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it and we're gonna put them on a greased sheet pan. Take our wrapped Wellingtons, and we have our egg wash. And I always like using a pastry brush, but what's really good about this too is if you don't have a pastry brush, you can take the back end of a spoon, a little tablespoon, and you can actually rub the pastry, the egg wash on top of it with a spoon. But for us here today, we're actually gonna take the pastry brush and we're gonna brush each fillet with the egg wash. Again, being very careful and delicate on the Wellingtons, and we want to get all the sides with the egg wash. What the egg wash is going to do, it's going to make it nice and golden brown, and it's going to add a nice little sheen onto the Wellington when it comes out of the oven. Using our pastry, getting all the sides. We're going to put this into our preheated 400-degree oven for about 15 minutes, or to your internal temperature that you like to have. What we're going to do is you can let these come up to temperature. We're waiting for our Wellingtons to cook, and I'll see you in a little bit and show you how we plate these up.